After years of waiting, Insomniac's Marvel's Wolverine is on its way, and the roster of characters revealed for it is absolutely stacked with X-Men history. So let's open the case files and break down every single confirmed character. Heroes, villains, monsters, and masterminds. This is every character reported and confirmed for the game, who they are in the comics, and the role each one looks set to play. Real quick before we dig in, this channel is climbing toward its very first 1,000 subscribers, and we are close. So if you love this kind of comic deep dive, take 1 second and hit subscribe to help push us over the line. It is free, and for a small channel, it genuinely means everything. Favor asked. Now, let's get into the roster and start opening files. Here is the premise. Marvel's Wolverine hits PlayStation 5 on September 15th, 2026, and it is set early in a world where the X-Men do not exist yet. You play an amnesiac Logan hunting for his own past. The plot kicks off when mutants start vanishing, abducted by a powerful industrialist and his private army. Logan rejoins his old Black Ops unit, Team X, to find out why. That sets the whole board. One phrase ties this whole cast together: Team X. It was a covert Black Ops squad Logan once ran with, a program that used and weaponized mutants, and then scrubbed their memories clean afterward so they could never tell. So much of this roster, Sunfire, Sabretooth, and Logan himself, runs straight through that buried history. In this game, Wolverine's past is not backstory, it is the central mystery driving absolutely everything. First, the star, James Howlett, better known as Logan, and as the Wolverine. A mutant with animal-sharp senses, a healing factor that shrugs off almost anything, and a skeleton laced with unbreakable adamantium, including those iconic claws. In the game, you play a younger, rawer Logan, before the noble X-Man we know. He is a weapon still searching for who he is, and the whole story is his hunt for the truth, buried in his own scrambled memory. It is worth pausing on what makes Logan so terrifying: his healing factor. He regenerates from almost any wound in seconds. It is exactly why the adamantium bonding did not simply kill him, and why he genuinely does not stop coming. For a video game, that is perfect. It means a Wolverine who can wade into impossible odds, take horrific punishment, and keep swinging. The ultimate berserker power fantasy basically writes itself. Next, Jean Grey. Long before she becomes the Phoenix, Jean is a young, staggeringly powerful telepath and telekinetic, still learning to control gifts that frighten even her. With the X-Men not yet formed, this is a Jean we rarely get to see, green, unguarded, and unattached to any team. Expect her to be one of Logan's few real allies and a rare voice of conscience in a very dark story. Then there is Sunfire, real name Shiro Yoshida. A proud Japanese mutant who absorbs solar radiation and unleashes it as blistering plasma fire, and who can fly on the superheated winds he creates. Reportedly, Sunfire fights alongside Logan as part of Team X. His fiery, hot-headed personality has always clashed with just about everyone, so pairing him with a feral Wolverine could be as combustible as his powers. Sasquatch is next. In civilian life, he is Dr. Walter Lankowski, a brilliant scientist and former athlete whose gamma experiment transformed him into a towering, orange-furred beast of raw strength. A founding member of Canada's team Alpha Flight, Sasquatch bridges the gap between genius and monster. In a game full of claws and fire, he brings sheer, wall-smashing muscle and a mind sharp enough to know exactly how dangerous he is. Leech is a small, green-skinned mutant child with one deceptively terrifying ability. Simply by being near other mutants, he suppresses and cancels out their powers entirely. That makes Leech incredibly valuable and incredibly vulnerable. As a defenseless mutant with a power somebody would kill to control, he is exactly the kind of victim at the heart of this story's abductions. Now the man pulling the strings, Bolivar Trask. A wealthy industrialist and scientist consumed by the belief that mutants are an existential threat to humanity and that he alone can stop them. In the comics, Trask is the creator of the mutant hunting Sentinels. Here, he is the human villain driving the plot, the one abducting mutants for his own dark ends, and the reason Logan is on the hunt at all. Backing Trask up are the Reavers. In the comics, they are a brutal gang of cybernetically enhanced mercenaries, part human, part machine, and entirely ruthless, infamous for one of the cruelest attacks the X-Men ever suffered. In the game, the Reavers appear to serve as Trask's private army, the boots on the ground doing the actual mutant hunting. Expect them to be the enemy foot soldiers Logan carves through by the dozen. So far we have met the allies. Now the file gets much darker, because Marvel's Wolverine stacks its villain roster just as deep as its heroes, with some of the most dangerous mutants Logan has ever crossed paths with. These are the predators circling a feral amnesiac Logan. Some of them want him dead, some want him controlled, and at least one of them wants what is buried inside him. So let's open the red files. There is a darker layer still. The weapons program that laced Logan's bones with adamantium against his will is the single most traumatic event of his entire life, and crucially, it did not only happen to him. Villains like Lady Deathstrike and Omega Red are products of that same twisted science, so when they collide with Wolverine, it is never random. They are all survivors and victims of the exact same nightmare. And here is the big one, Sabretooth, Victor Creed, Wolverine's dark mirror and his single greatest personal enemy. A feral killer with his own claws, fangs, and a healing factor to rival Logan's. The two of them share a long, blood-soaked history stretching back through Team X, and Creed takes genuine sadistic joy in tormenting Logan. If this game has a personal, savage rivalry at its core, it is almost certainly this one. Mystique, real name Raven Darkholme, is a shapeshifter who can perfectly mimic anyone, down to the voice and the fingerprints. A master spy, manipulator, and assassin whose true loyalties are never clear. In a story built on secrets and hidden agendas, a character who can be anyone is pure poison. Whether she is an obstacle, an ally of convenience, or something worse, you will never quite know who you are really talking to. Omega Red, born Arkady Rossovich, is a monstrous Soviet super soldier and serial killer. He wields retractable carbonadium tentacles and drains the life force out of anyone he wraps them around to sustain himself. Like Logan, he is a product of a brutal weapons program which ties him directly into Wolverine's murky past. He is a hulking physical threat, the kind of boss fight built to test everything a feral Logan has. Lady Deathstrike, Yuriko Oyama, is a cybernetically enhanced warrior whose own skeleton and long, deadly finger claws are bonded with the same adamantium as Wolverine's. Her obsession with Logan runs deep and personal, tied to the very process that made him. As an assassin built to match Wolverine claw for claw, she is one of the most dangerous one-on-one threats on this entire roster. Ogun is one of the most disturbing names here. A demonic ninja master and, in the comics, one of Logan's own former teachers, a mentor who twisted his student and can even possess and control other minds. Ogun represents the darkest corner of Wolverine's training and history. If he appears, expect a psychological, spiritual kind of threat, an enemy who does not just fight Logan's body, but tries to seize his very soul. Serving that darkness is the Hand, a centuries-old cult of mystical ninja assassins, capable of resurrecting their own dead and bending them to a sinister will. They are Marvel's deadliest, most relentless killers for hire. Tied closely to Ogun, the Hand looks set to be another wave of enemies for Logan to tear through, an endless supply of silent, sword-wielding ninjas standing between Wolverine and the truth, and looming over everything, Mr. Sinister. Nathaniel Essex, a nearly immortal Victorian geneticist obsessed with mutant DNA who breeds, clones, and experiments on mutants in his endless pursuit of genetic perfection. A villain obsessed with harvesting mutants is a chilling fit for a story about mutants being abducted. If Sinister is the hand behind the curtain, this game's stakes just quietly became enormous and deeply personal for every mutant in it. And notice the pattern running through these villains. Ogun, the Hand, and Mr. Sinister all deal in control, in twisting mutants into weapons or specimens. This is a story quietly obsessed with who owns a mutant's body and mind, which raises the question the whole game seems built around. Is Bolivar Trask really the mastermind here? Or is he just the public face for something far older and far more sinister, pulling every single string? Put that whole roster together and the ambition is clear. This is not a small story. Team X, Alpha Flight, the Reavers, the Hand, and villains like Sinister and Sabretooth, all colliding around one amnesiac Wolverine. Insomniac has pulled from every dark corner of Wolverine's mythology, and clearly built something enormous. For X-Men fans, this cast is a genuine dream, and we have barely scratched the surface of what it could become. So here is where things stand. Marvel's Wolverine lands exclusively on PlayStation 5 on September 15th, 2026, from Insomniac, the studio behind the acclaimed Spider-Man games. Expectations could not possibly be higher. For a character this beloved, backed by a roster this deep, this has a real shot at being the definitive Wolverine experience. And honestly, every single name on this list is a reason to be excited. So that is every confirmed character for Marvel's Wolverine, from Logan himself all the way up to Mr. Sinister. It is a stacked, deep-cut roster, and it promises one seriously dark ride. So tell me down below, which character are you most excited to see, and who do you think is secretly the true villain of this game? And let me know which comic roster I should break down next.